Good morning, everyone. A good Isru Chag and already a good Erev Shabbos. I hope everybody had a wonderful Pesach, considering what was going on all around us. And I hope that the things that we were able to control, we controlled well, and the things that we were unable to control, we handled with aplomb. I have to tell you that even though the weather was not fantastic, but the atmosphere certainly was great. We made the best out of our Yontif with our family, and we took a difficult situation and we made it to the best of our ability. I was especially moved by how many people were able to join us for the Yisker Zoom. It was quite surreal, I have to tell you, standing in the middle of the main shul with all the lights on and holding a Sefer Torah and doing the tefillah with no one in there, but knowing that everyone indeed was there. So I hope that it was meaningful for everyone as well. Just a reminder that this Shabbos is Shabbos Mevarchim, that we bench Rosh Chodesh. The Molad is included in the announcements below. And of course, this coming week is Yom HaShoah. Well, we had planned a monumental program of 4 synagogues together sharing in a Yom HaShoah program, something that's never been done before. But apparently God had other plans. So we will do something accordingly online on Tuesday, God willing, and share with you the community programs as well. And I guess the same will go into effect for Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaAtzmaut, the week after. One of the things also I'd like to take on in terms of learning every day is going forward, sharing these notes, which I've got a tremendous amount of encouragement for doing so, is I hope to be able to study a little bit of Pirkei Avos, Ethics of the Fathers, which is customarily studied between the time of Pesach and Shavuos. So I hope that we'll be able to cover maybe a Mishnah day or a little bit of note of Torah every single day, so that we shouldn't go a whole day without any Torah or any inspiration. And I look forward to starting that in the beginning of next week. As we go into Parashat Shemini, and I wanted to share with you a Dvar Torah, something that a friend of mine in Israel pointed out to me, an unusual story. And it kind of goes with what we've been seeing a lot. I made the mistake last night of, after putting away all the Pesach dishes and everything, I sat down, it was close to midnight, and I turned on the news. Nothing good is happening on the news. It's a lot of really bad statistics, a lot of bad numbers, and people basically living with the clue saying, I don't know what's going on. But one statistic that was really jarring when I was listening to one of the police departments reporting on how they're dealing with everything, traffic accidents are down, and insurance companies are giving back money because there's fewer traffic accidents, and violent crime is down, this and that. But one thing that has shot up more than 200%, calls for domestic violence. And you could just imagine. And Erica actually spoke to us about this a couple of weeks ago. But if you have someone who's locked at home, literally trapped at home, with an abusive individual, be it a spouse, be it a parent, and having to live like that in fear, it's just something that I can't even imagine, and just making a difficult situation so many more times difficult. So my friend pointed out this story to me, something about Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. Tomorrow is going to be the 24th day of Nisan. And it's probably not a day of great significance, but on Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, who's the Gadol Adar in Eretz Yisrael, he passed away in 1995, this is a day that he recited Kaddish for a woman that he never knew. And let me share with you the story. Rav Shlomo Kluger, who lived 1785 to 1869, who was one of the great Torah scholars of his generation, from a place called Brody. On the 24th of Nisan and Shabbos Parashat Shemini in 1854 is when his beloved granddaughter, Sasha Mindel, who grew up in his home, had died tragically. His world was turned upside down, and in the second volume of his book entitled Nidrei Zerizin, he describes these events in detail. Rav Kluger helped arrange the marriage between his granddaughter Sasha and her husband. But as it turned out, her husband and his family were terrible people. And just weeks after the wedding, having expressed disappointment that Sasha had not fully adopted their ways and customs, they were abusive to her to the extent that she became very sick. Initially, Rav Shlomo Kluger was unaware of the abuse, but then a random stranger informed him of the situation. Rav Kluger immediately sent his son, Sasha's father, to bring her to his house, and it was there that she remained until her tragic death. Feeling broken and blaming himself for the abuse and death of his beloved granddaughter, Rav Kluger dedicated the second volume of his book, Nidrei Zerizin, to her memory. It's there where he tells this story while mentioning the names of the husband and his family. It's there where you can read his eulogy to Sasha, And it's there where he makes the following request. And you can look this up. If anybody is interested, I could send you the source where this is written. I ask, and this is his quote, I ask and I beg whoever will learn my books to recall Sasha Mindel's soul on her yahrzeit, which is the 24th of Nisan. And whoever doesn't feel that this is below their honor should recite Kaddish for her. I would further ask that you mention her soul for the good in your prayers and supplications. And whoever feels that these would be below their honor should give a pruta to a poor Jew to say Kaddish on her behalf. And this is the ultimate kindness, the chesed shel emes, that you can do for her and for me, and your reward should be doubled in heaven. Now, I don't know how many people listen to this, but Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach did. Because he writes in his Halicha Shlomo, in his book of his practices and his halachas, we find a record that every year on the 24th of Nisan, he recited Kaddish, Le'ili Nishmas Sasha Mindel, a woman he never met, who died as a result of spousal abuse. And in doing so, he communicated a profound message that no one should ever turn a blind eye to abuse, and that abuse must not be ignored nor forgotten. This year, where virtually nobody's saying Kaddish for anyone, let's keep a thought for those people who may be going through difficult times, particularly if they are in abusive relationships. Lend an ear. Lend support. Let's show them how there are places where they can turn. I know it's probably not your typical Shabbos message, but something I think that resonates with us during these difficult times. It seems that the news is telling us we have a month more of this at least. Who knows? I don't know. But it's difficult. It's trying. Kids going back to school after Pesach, hopefully getting back into regular routines. But for some, there's no escape from this routine. So let us hope that we find a Shabbos of rest. Let us have in mind all those who are going through difficult times, those who need a refuah shalema, those who need healing, those who just need a kind ear of support. Let's hope that this indeed is a Shabbat Shalom, and I look forward again to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.